Hi, my name is Sivert and I'm a Norwegian music producer and songwriter. Today I'm going to show you 7 production and songwriting concepts used in Jung Kook's number 1 hit 7. So number 1 is all about having memorable and catchy instrumental parts. In this song, that's the acoustic guitar, and it hooks the listeners right away and also drives the song forward. So just listen to what happens if we take away the syncopated rhythm and the chord voicings in this acoustic guitar. I'll show you with MIDI because it's easier to see what's going on. So first, how it's played in the original. So you see it has a lot of syncopated rhythms. It's kind of breaking up the chord and creating like an arpeggio of it sometimes in the beginnings. And it also adds in some percussion hits, which really keeps the drive, so it goes dun duk dun k dun duk dun k, almost like a snare. And just listen to what happens if I take away the rhythm stuff and just use voicings that don't really create a melody and are kind of more boring. Like, it really doesn't sound like a hit anymore. It sounds kind of lifeless, right? Number 2, use few but great elements. In this song, the producers have really just used drums, acoustic guitar, synths, and a bass. That's really the whole thing. But each of these elements are really well created, and they are created in a way where they fit together, right? So just listen in the verse, listen to how the guitar kind of dances around the synth chords. Just ignore my breathing there in the acoustic guitar. But you can kind of hear that the synth is creating stabs sometimes, and the syncopated rhythm in the guitar can kind of like dance around that, right? And in the chorus, the bass just kind of adds to that synth. You know, the bass just kind of like fills out the low end and doesn't really compete with the rhythms, with the existing rhythms, right? So the concept here is to don't create instruments that step on each other either rhythmically or frequency-wise. So number 3, find the right drum sounds. That's all about sound selection, right? We all know how annoying it can be to go through endless kicks and snares in Splice, but sometimes you really got to do that stuff, and sometimes you have to like reference stuff that you want your song to sound like. It can be the type of genre you want, or just the sounds you've heard before. So listen to this, the example from 7. If I swapped out the kick and the snare into something bad. So first off, the kick is just too acoustic. It doesn't sound like it fits in this kind of production. It could probably fit in like a rock song, but for this, it's too acoustic, number 1, and second, it's too long. It's got too long of a tail, so it kind of takes away from the punchiness in the drums. And also the snare, it's not too bad, but it's kind of more like trap snare, and it doesn't really fit the genre, the garage thing. So listen to that, and again, and I'll switch from the original drums, which I've remade, and the bad drums. Yeah, so just listen to how much more punchy that kick is, how much more low end it has, and how much tighter those samples make the drum sound. So number 4 is all about taking away and adding instruments to your arrangement. You have to make sure that your song doesn't become stale and boring and lifeless throughout the whole song, right? So every 8 or maybe 16 bars, you should really add something new or take something away. And in 7, you can listen to how the chords, the synth chords, kind of come in the pre-chorus after 8 bars. And did you notice that actually the producers took away the kick 4 bars at the end there, before the chorus hits? You don't really notice, but it really makes the chorus hit that much harder when it first hits, so you get the full weight of the kick really hitting there. Listen again how it goes from the last part of the pre without the kick and into the chorus. Right, so that's kind of like a very tiny detail that you can do that will make a whole lot of difference, and doing these kind of small details really separate the pros from an amateur producer. So number 5, don't be afraid to use repetitions. In this kind of a pop song, it's really important to use repetitions, especially in your chord progressions and your song structure. You don't really want to be adding like 5 different parts to a song. You want to mainly stick to a verse, maybe a pre, and a chorus. Right, and when it comes to chord progressions, it's very normal that pop songs these days have the same progression the whole song through. That makes it even more important though to add new stuff and take away stuff every 8 or 16 bars. So you really have to like play with the balance between those two things. You want to be really repetitive, but keep the arrangement very fresh by adding and taking away elements. Number 6, stand out. Number 6 is about doing something different with your song that makes it stand out from all the music that's being released nowadays. So in 7, they're really drawing inspiration from earlier garage music, like UK garage, which has these shuffle drums. Just listen to them. Right? These drums with this shuffle thing going on, and also the acoustic guitar. That was more of a thing before, where you had the drums and the acoustic guitar in this garage thing. Now this time they're putting this garage inspiration together with a very poppy song. They're using Jung Kook, who is a K-pop artist, and kind of like blending two things together that way. And that's mainly my tip to you, is don't try to like reinvent the wheel and try to come up with something entirely new and different, but maybe try to draw inspiration from different places and different styles and make them fit together, and that way you will create something new and something that sounds different without actually inventing something totally new. Last tip is about collaborating. Collaborate with other producers, writers, and artists. It's really important, and it will make you grow so much faster as a producer and songwriter. Even 7, which is a song created by some of the most talented artists and songwriters and producers in the world, have up to 7 people credited. And that really shows how powerful it can be to create with others who have different strengths than you have. Maybe one is very good at starting ideas, one is very good at finishing the ideas, and another is really great at writing lyrics. That way you can make a song that's much higher in quality than if you made everything yourself. Thanks for watching. Today we looked at 7 key songwriting and producer concepts used in Jung Kook's #1 hit 7. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to show the remake I did in detail.